Let me begin with a question to all our panelists. Warehousing is rapidly evolving from a storage function to a strategic business enabler. What key transformation do you foresee in next 5 years? Mahendra sir, may I start with you?
Sure. In my opinion, there will be a huge requirement of good organized 3PL service providers who will take over the main warehousing and logistics functions. There will be a reduction, as I see it, in the warehouse space that is owned by companies. No company who wants to get into manufacturing is going to waste space, which is extremely valuable to them in their manufacturing premises for a warehouse. So they are going to outsource that. A big portion of the external supply chain definitely will be outsourced to these three. That's why I said we need good organized 3PL service providers. Adoption of warehouse and logistics technology will be in high demand because, as we've seen the presentations, we are all on the same page saying that moving forward, if the country has to progress, it has to go in for automation. We've got to get out of that mindset कि यार हमारे पास लोग बहुत ज्यादा है तो काम करते रहे. नहीं, that's not how we will compete with the world. If we have to compete with the world, we got to have automation. And suppliers and distributors, as I see, will play a major role because the suppliers now will look after their inventories, will look after managing their supplies as well as the quality of those supplies. And as far as distributors are concerned, they will have to manage the finished goods inventories as well as get into the role of a sub-distributor to see that the item reaches the customer. That's my take on the question.
Mr. Jeevan, can we have your take on this?
I'll say 3 to 4 pointers which are coming to my mind. It is a organized automated warehousing, right? And warehousing which is robust till the last mile. Okay, a warehousing which is giving 100% inventory visibility, and the tools which are at a at a blink of eye, a person can have access to such a tool which give the visibility of entire supply chain and access. And at the last, the entire ecosystem will move to a more greener solutions which doesn't pollute the environment, because that is the need of the hour.
Thank you, Mr. Jeevan. Mohit sir, you want to add something to this?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Mahesh, in my very humble view, the primary transformation is the shift from warehousing being static storage to an AI-driven connected ecosystems. And in future, I strongly believe warehouses will function as agile distribution nodes where artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and real-time data integration will enable dynamic inventory positioning and predictive maintenance that can reduce the unplanned downtime, which has been an issue in Indian industry, by up to say 60-70%. Additionally, there is a clear mandate for green logistics and warehousing as a service to meet the regulatory requirements of not just changing policies structure in India, but our exposure to international trades now, considering CBAM and other such policies. And customer demand is also scaling a lot. Customer is now very choosy, very updated, very much say demand in a lot of demands a lot. So the upcoming warehousing ecosystem will be able to using this technology to cater to all these things. That is my take on this.
Thank you, Mohit sir. Nilesh sir, what's your take on this?
Yeah, so in my opinion, so there are two perspectives I have. Obviously, my fellow speaker has already mentioned about the 3PL. So right now, what I see, many 3PL are working with very high pressure of the cost, and that pressure they don't allow them to use of automation. because right now automation, though it is easily available, but at the cost of high premium. So my take is, in future, more and more automation will be adapted by 3PL with some kind of integration, and that integration will always happen with right suppliers. And on other side, so second perspective, yes, uh, all the manufacturing industries, specifically for durable and non-durable manufacturing industry, my observation is they are going more and more with the connected warehouses. So all manufacturing facilities, they at least have their raw material store, which is connected to their production. Though many industries, they don't store their FGs because it required different type of scale. But for raw material store now, because we want to think about the future, many industries are already going for the automation for raw material storage, and that while planning for those raw material storage, they are already integrating it with their manufacturing system. So it is not only about a warehouse, which is a cost center. Now they are planning warehouses more strategically, which help them to grow their business also.
Thank you, Mr. Nilesh. My next question is for Miss Harinder Kaur. What best practices can logistics companies adopt to improve driver productivity while ensuring safety and regulatory compliance?
I believe that people are the biggest asset in the logistic industry, whether we talk about driver shortage, productivity, safety, or operational efficiency. Everything start with the drivers. I believe that company needs to invest in the driver welfare, training, safety, and career development. When driver feel supported and respected, they become more connected, motivated, and committed to the company. In my personal experience, when you take care of the people, it is not only good for the business, it is good for the industry. So in our industry, we always ignore the driver. Without drivers are the backbone of our logistic industry, right? In a transport. So we have seen many articles on LinkedIn or social media where we always put a blame on a driver in a small, if something happen on the roads. Today, I can just share today's experience with me, right, with you all. Today, I got a call from my driver. He was going towards Tamil Nadu. I can share the location that it's a Arakanam place, right? So there is a very tiny road, और उसके ऊपर भी किसी का मतलब एक there was a one buffalo. वो कहाँ से खेत से आया, ड्राइवर ट्राइंग टू लाइक सेव हिज लाइफ, बट जब वो इतने सडनली आया, ही वाज नॉट एबल टू ब्रेक, राइट? तो ऐसी सिचुएशन में पीपल like don't have time to understand others' perspective. They started beating my driver. So this is the situation we are now. People are talking about only the driver shortage in India, and we always write a big article and we speak about the driver every time, right? But जब बात आती है हमें एक्शन लेने की, कोई नहीं लेता, right? So I believe that we should respect our drivers because they are the backbone of our industry. So if we want to upgrade them, we need to give them that respect, a proper salaries, wages. That is are very required, right? अगर हम वेयर हाउसिंग की बात करते हैं, आज सारे वेयर हाउसिंग से डिपार्टमेंट से सारे सीनियर्स आए हुए हैं. सो मेरी गाड़ियां भी जाती हैं वेयर हाउस में मटेरियल डिलीवर करने या मटेरियल लेने के लिए, राइट? पर उनको वहां पे अलाउ ही नहीं किया जाता कि दे कैन एंटर टू देयर वॉशरूम और नॉट इवन फॉर अ ग्लास ऑफ वाटर, राइट? वो गाड़ियां वहां पे डिटेन होती हैं फॉर लोडिंग एंड अनलोडिंग. दे आर लाइक दे हैव टू सर्वाइव ऑन देयर ओन, नॉट इवन दे आर अलाउड टू यूज देयर वॉशरूम. सो आई बिलीव अगर स्टार्टिंग यहाँ से हो जाए कि हम एटलीस्ट कोई एक वेयर हाउस डिपार्टमेंट से एक पर्सन भी अपनी कंपनी में अलाउ कर दें उनको एंटर करना, तो आई बिलीव कि धीरे धीरे ये ड्राइवर शॉर्टेज या अदर प्रॉब्लम्स लॉजिस्टिक में धीरे धीरे कम हो जाएंगी. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that practical insight. We have one more question for you. As one of the industry's leading women professional, how do you see diversity contributing to innovation and workforce development in logistics?
I strongly believe that diversity is not about only the presentation. It is about bringing the new perspective and fresh ideas to the table. It helps organizations to take better decisions, build stronger teams, and drive innovation, right? Earlier, the transport sector was mainly dominated by men, but nowadays, many girls and women are entering into this industry and proving that success and leadership has no have no gender, right? In my experience, when people are given opportunities based on their skill and talent, both the organization and the industry grow stronger. But I do not want to be known as a woman succeeding in the transport sector, but I want to be known as a professional uh, contributing to the growth of the uh, my sector, right? Because gender may open the conversation, but performance earns the respect.
That was very insightful, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Jeevan, what are the critical elements that define the future-ready cold chain infrastructure in today's rapidly changing consumption landscape?
Yeah, can you
Mr.
please
Jeevan?
can you please repeat?
Yeah. What are the critical elements that define a future-ready cold chain infrastructure in today's rapidly changing consumption landscape?
So as you ask this question, 5 or 6 points are coming to my mind. So uh, first one be the network architecture. Like many of us have said that in the future, the hub and spoke model of warehousing as well as cold chain will work. You people will be having a strategic location near production cluster, highways, or near the export hubs of the nation. The second will be the technology stack, right? WMS with a real-time inventory, integration of IoT-enabled devices, automated billing, SLA trackings, automated infra. Then it will be energy resilience, like energy, which is a combination of, say, solar plus battery backup, natural refrigerants like CO2 per se in cold chain, and energy monitoring systems, whether it is a dry warehouse or a cold chain. If you are having energy monitoring system, you can always optimize your energy, right? Apart from that, talent and process maturity, like Ms. Kaur also said that talent has to be nurtured and you have to take care of your assets. Driver are again part of a supply chain, very important part, because your customer success completely depends on your last mile handler, right? So a trained workforce, a well cared workforce. Then the flexibility and scalability, the multi-client facilities which are flexible in terms of their design, the way Mr. Nilesh highlighted that multiple designs within the same facility are available, so that you can optimize the storage space as per the requirement of the customer. Then definitely the financial and commercial model, it has to be very transparent, very flexible, and at the last, the compliance and traceability, right? You do everything, but then you have to do it within the allowed norm. You can't just keep polluting the environment and rising your economy. That will not work. So the traceability and proper compliance will be there, because future ready infrastructure won't be an industry. It has to be a platform play. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that explanation. Mahendra, sir, from your extensive supply chain experience, how has technology fundamentally changed warehouse and logistics management over the last decade?
Yeah, a few points that come to my mind are almost every company in the past decade, if you see, has gone in for some kind of digitization. That is, you convert all your current documentation processes just to digitized documents. That means they are available in the soft form. And now, or some of them have already started, or some of them are to start or have initiated the digitalization of their processes. That means now they are dependent on a system. They have incorporated certain softwares. They have started maybe with an unbranded software which is either developed in-house or from a freelancer, which helps them to get through. The other part is what I have also seen, or rather what COVID did to all of us, was it brought out the importance of the supply chain. Till COVID, customer was king. And I don't know, but maybe my 40 years of working in the industry, I've realized one thing, that the customer may be the king, but your supplier is your partner in progress. If a company wants to progress, they have to look after their supplier as a partner, not as a third party who is just supposed to give them material. So in looking at what managements have to do, they have to understand the importance of warehousing, the importance of the supply chain, the importance of the stakeholders of their supply chains. And then, as I said, there is an increased demand in third-party warehousing because no company wants to invest in land and use it just to hold material, whether it is raw material or whether it is finished goods. And as Mohit sir said very clearly, you need to have intelligent warehouses. So the best option would be hand it over to a third party, hand over your finished goods, let him be responsible for ensuring that material gets to the place. And then you can always, through technology, always have absolute controls over entire activities of the supply chain. What new technologies can be implemented is using IoT sensors, which are very, very small in numbers as of date. Not too many people have, I think the reason being, not too many people have understood the technology and the software to back it up, and integrate data from standalone systems. Because as I said, a lot of these companies cannot afford SAP or cannot afford any of those branded software. So most of them have developed software from a freelancer. Somebody starts with warehousing, somebody then says, no, we want the customer service calls to be software driven, all sorts of things. Now you got to start integration of all these functions so that you finally come up with a system that talks to each other. These functions need to talk to each other. Only then can you get progress and can you move ahead. And the last thing is, initiate the use of software packages that suit the business and ensure that they are able to integrate. So let's say tomorrow a company says they get some financing. They say that they want to go in for SAP. Just because you have the money, don't go into SAP. First, look at, is SAP suitable to your business? Do you have the expertise to customize SAP to your business needs? Because I've seen people and I've seen businesses giving up midway, buying a good software, spending that amount, and then saying, "Nahi yaar, apna system chal raha hai, wahi chal." So these are the areas that they need to look at, and that's how we would be progressing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that valuable insight. Mohit, sir, what role does standardization play in creating efficiency across logistics infrastructure projects?
Oh. Sir, as I said during my presentation, and you can take, or rather, we can take a cue from the presentations and discourse by all the other learned, esteemed dignitaries. This standardization acts like a common language for the entire logistic ecosystem. If we can standardize the data formats, business processes, and physical loading units, we will be able to eliminate the friction during the transshipment and information exchange. This interoperability is critical to enable a truly seamless multimodal journey that will reduce the manual errors and the waiting times across the network. That I believe would be the best thing that standardization can done, in addition to making companies like INDICOLD adapt them and win national awards.
Thank you, sir, for clarifying that. Nilesh, sir, warehouse automation adoption is growing rapidly. What common misconception prevent organization from embracing automation?
Uh, According to me, whenever whatever my experience, whenever I start discussion with any project manager or any industry where they are usually look for a warehouse automation, first thing they start with, can we do it in our existing facility, which was already designed
Yes.
almost 25 years old
Yes.
facility, and they always look for some solution which can fit into the facility which was designed based on the requirement planning which was done 25-30 years before. It is already 30 years are passed, a lot of changes were already made, and then their expectation always lies that their existing facility can be used for the some kind of automation, whether it is a mobile robotics or some sort of automated storage system. So my suggestion is always, whenever if you really want to automate a system, go for checking three things. Are you using your existing capacity up to a full extent? Is there any room for improvisation with semi-automated solution or some digital solution involving into your existing system? That will help you for the short-term gains. But if you really want to leverage through automation, definitely you have to plan your operations in the warehouse or in the supply chain, considering next 10-20 years, and that is only possible if you do a warehouse design considering the automation which required slightly more space or slightly more room for the scalability.
Okay. Thank you, Nilesh sir. As we conclude today's session, I would like to ask each panelist what key actions logistics and warehousing leaders must take immediately to future-proof their operations. Let's start with Ms. Harinder.
As I told you earlier that in our industry, people are the backbone of our industry. Definitely, I would invest more into driver training, safety, and productivity. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Jeevan sir, Mr. Jeevan. I think Mr. Jeevan already left. Mahendra sir, can we have your take?
Yeah. In my opinion, I would say continuous improvement in both physical and the technology. So whatever you want to make, do it on a continuous basis. You cannot just, even if you've automated, you cannot rest and say that I have now automated, next 5 years I will not do anything. No, technology tomorrow is going to change. So there has to be continuous improvement in both the processes as well as the technology or automation, whatever you find. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. What's your opinion, Mohit sir?
So I would first like to add what Mr. Nilesh has said about the possibilities and feasibilities of automations in existing warehouses. And what Mahendra sir just said, that technologies change very fast. So one thing I would like to repeat from my speech is, we have to consider that the rate of change and the quantum of change has become the new constant.
Yes.
To future-proof the operations immediately, the logistics and warehousing leaders must shift from reactive management to proactive data orchestration, I would say, and at least now go in for flexible and scalable infrastructure development from today itself, because the amount of change and the time taken for these changes in last 30 years will be done in next 2 to 3 years. So it's better to invest their current efforts and money into scalable as well as flexible infrastructure, and also is to start integrating not just AI but agentic AIs now. And now the time is for agentic AIs and AI agents. Even government bodies like PM Gati Shakti and National Logistic Policy are thinking a lot about it. And if we have to align with all these national level initiatives, we have to ensure that the infrastructure is resilient, it is again scalable, and very much ready to adopt emerging technology on day one when they start their operations, or if I may say, day one when new technology is being introduced and proposed in India.
Thank you, sir. Nilesh, sir, you want to add something to this?
Yes, if you may allow, I want to add two key actions, not one. Definitely, first thing is about the data-driven visibility. Data. If you have more data, then decision making will definitely help. If you are planning for future ready warehouses, you should know what are your existing challenges, and that is only possible if you have a good data point that will give a transparency in decision making. And second thing, which is second action, we are already late, but still it is not too late in taking action. We should really focus on standardization of the pallets, standardization of the loads, standardization of the uh, trucks, for that matter, for the transportation. All those things needs to be taken care at least from now. Then only we will able to create a future ready warehouses and supply chain.
Thank you, Nilesh, sir. Thank you all for those powerful and actionable closing thoughts.